Hi, today we're talking about a really sensitive topic.
Listen if that's helpful, but maybe pause if you need to. Put your hand up, get on the phone, ask for some help. In Australia, we've got Lifeline and other counselling services. We hope that this is a hopeful and helpful conversation, but we just wanted you to be prepared. I love church, but I think we've made it something that it's not supposed to be.
From bastard to minister, when did you find out?
I really didn't matter in the world and no one would miss me if I was gone. I just had a realisation.
Yep.
I couldn't snatch myself out of God's hands.
Life's really gritty at times, isn't it? We explore where we can access grace in the midst of the struggle.
Welcome back to Filthy Hope, where we talk about faith with no filter. I'm John.
Yes, and I'm Ness. How are you?
Well, thanks, and we're going to have radically honest conversations. Next 2 episodes, getting to know each other, I guess. Well, we know each other, but you may not know about our story, so we want to talk about the filth in each of our stories and
The hope.
the hope.
So, John, I'd like to know, you often refer to yourself as a real bastard. And I throw that word around like you're a jerk. Do you know what I mean? But you actually mean I'm a real bastard because you really are a bastard.
I really am a bastard.
Can you unpack that? Because it's a pretty old-fashioned term.
It is. So part of my story is I'm adopted, and as far as I can tell from the history of Crown Street Women's Hospital where I was born, women who were pregnant were sent to such hospitals to avoid the disgrace and shame of their families, and were often convinced into giving their children away.
Yep.
And we saw Prime Minister Julia Gillard given an apology quite a few years back, but that was things. So a bastard is a technical term meaning illegitimately born, and I suspect I was illegitimately born to end up in Crown Street Women's Hospital and adopted by my lovely parents, who are my real parents. But it's also because I'm a bit of a naughty person.
You're a rat bag, man.
I'm a bit of a rat bag sometimes. So,
And you can say it. You can say I'm a bastard, and then the next breath you piss yourself laughing. But can I ask you, there's got to be, and on this podcast we talk about the filth and the hope and the grit and the grace in life. Can you unpack for us about the filth and what that actually meant for you and being an adopted child, and when did you find out?
I always knew.
Right.
So it's never really affected me being adopted, other than, when people ask you at school as a teacher, can you fill out your family tree, or you go to the doctor and say, what's your medical background? Is there any history? I go, don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Don't have that. But because I'm a bit of a stirrer, it's just a way to trigger some people to think differently. I like wrong-footing people so that they think
Disarming.
more right. So rather than just going with the normal prejudices. Plus,
I think this is why we get along so well.
Yeah. I guess when I was younger, I a bit of a misfit.
Okay.
Bit of a loner. My wife says I've got autism, yet to be diagnosed. But certainly felt left out at times. And in my teenage years, probably headed towards depression.
Yeah.
And in my early 20s, and I've shared this on one of our live pods, talked about suicide. I thought about that I really didn't matter in the world and no one would miss me if I was gone, and raised myself from life and they'd do everyone a favour, including me. So that was probably the lowest point in my life when
hectic.
Pretty undiagnosed depression
Yep.
and suicidality. And the hope in that was I had this amazing moment mowing the lawn where God's I don't know. No, it wasn't God. I just had this verse that kept popping into my head, despite the fact I had headphones on. I was trying to listen to music, that no one can snatch. My sheep know my name, and no one can snatch them out of my hand.
How old were you?
And I don't know, in my early 20s.
Okay.
And I just had a realization, a big word, epiphany,
Yep.
that I couldn't snatch myself out of God's hands. And then I woke up to myself and realized that actually people would be probably quite sad. My family would be sad.
Wow.
If
Did you
I
see a
did that to
doctor?
myself.
Did you get help?
No, I was better.
So
That literally fixed me,
do you think it was
changed my way of thinking.
quite miraculous in a
Well,
sense?
yeah, sort
And
of.
I know you're not a big miracle dude.
Well, I believe in miracles,
Mm.
but I don't make a big thing of them because they don't happen to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly that was enough of a conversion of my thinking.
Right.
And we talk about that in Christianity, that I didn't think that way anymore.
Yep.
And I've never have. It's not that I don't, because it's a bit like alcoholism. People who are part of AA, and we've just had Liz on our things, and she had other addictions as well. Talk about recovering. You're never not anymore. Once you've opened that door of thinking, you've given into that temptation. That door's now always open. So there's been times where those thoughts come up, but not seriously. It's just an old way of thinking. And I go, well, that's stupid. Stop doing that. And off I go.
Can I ask you, John, going back to being adopted,
Yeah.
how old were you when your adoptive mum and dad got given you?
I was premature.
So
my parents were sitting up in Newcastle, thinking that at some stage in the next coming month they might be called
parents?
up to be parents, but they got a call saying, you've got a baby boy. You've got to come and get him. And they didn't have a bassinet or anything.
Wow.
They had to drive down to Sydney.
And you were premi?
Apparently, a little bit.
And were you
Because they weren't prepared.
no? Were you in the hospital long before they got
Don't know.
given you?
Don't know. I can't remember.
No. Does mum ever talk about that?
Only the story that I've told.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty much the story that was part of our family, that I came before they were ready, but they were great joy and blessing, and that's just been always the story, that I've always been adopted. But
It must have been an incredible thing for them to be given this precious little baby.
yeah.
Like a real surprise. Like here
well,
he is.
it was
like
like literal, you know, when people
surprise.
get
Yeah, preemie baby.
preemie baby.
Yeah,
you,
quick.
You know, when you think you're going 39
Yeah.
weeks or 41 weeks, and
Yeah.
it turns up at a little bit early.
The joy for them must have been off the charts.
Joy,
Had
awesome.
mum and dad been trying to have children?
Mum had rubella when she was young, so never, that's not,
Right.
never was able.
Had an infertility issue.
Infertility.
Yeah, wow.
Was never going to be able to have kids. So
What? And so they adopted two kids.
2 kids. Yeah, my
Yeah.
sister came 2 years later.
Yeah, wow. How
I
amazing.
think she was a bit more on track to
On
the
timing.
timetable.
That's right. How incredible that you would fall really into this loving embrace of this Christian family. Just incredible, John.
Yeah, my family were Christian. They made me go to church.
Yep. Made you go to church.
Yeah.
Did you like going?
No,
Okay.
not always.
So is that the made you bit?
Well, I liked it when I was young. At one stage, Dad was trying to help the church and people didn't want to get helped. He was an accountant, and
Yep.
he had some ideas that would have helped the church save money, and people said, don't be stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. And so he went,
Stuff you.
I'm not going to church anymore
Yeah,
except when I
wow.
have to.
Oh, but kept
When I was in
sending you.
year 9,
Yeah.
I took up archery because I could shoot things, and plus it was on a Sunday.
Interesting.
Win-win. Didn't have
Yeah.
to go to church, and I could shoot things. Got a bit boring. Target shooting's a bit boring, but didn't go back to church. And then Mum said, "Gotta go somewhere." So I would join the local Anglican fellowship. Made some friends because that's where my friends went.
Wow.
And yeah.
So how?
That's where the story started. I guess my
Yes.
connection with God, because I was on a camp once when I was in year 9, and we were on a house party.
So you're about 15?
About 15.
Yep.
Again, feeling a bit isolated.
Right.
I think my friends used to call me ghosty or something.
Ghosty.
I don't know, there but not really.
Oh, really? Yeah. Are you?
Maybe I was socially awkward. I don't
wonder.
know. I don't know.
Mm.
Anywho, there's some guy talking about something. I can still remember the place. It's up in Mount Victoria. And I think it was called the Grange. And we were having this house party, which wasn't a party, but was in a house. It was just a church camp, weekend away. And then I remember there's this, it's a fireplace. I was looking at it. I don't know why, but I just had this sense that Jesus was real and in the room.
Whoa. Looking at a fireplace.
Well, I was just probably daydreaming because I got ADHD and wasn't paying attention. But for a second, just had this sense, and that changed everything. And then I went to church and stuff like that. Some of it was okay. I was a youth leader.
Wow.
Bit naughty at times.
Was this Anglican?
Yeah, Sydney Anglican. But that was good. I enjoyed my time there. Had good friends. But then I was probably heading into that depression phase towards the end and felt like no one was liking me or no one cared if I was there or not.
Wow.
So I had that time probably just after high school.
Okay, so were you in teachers' college? Were you studying
No.
to be a teacher yet?
No, it was probably just after. Oh, yeah. No, I was then.
Was that uni?
Yeah. So I was at uni. And just, because I was going to be an architect and
Right.
didn't get into architecture. Went into architectural drafting. Did that for a while, for a year. Did really well, was going to transfer across, but working every day, studying 3 nights a week and then spending all weekend in the office doing assignments just didn't seem a joyous life for 6 years.
How
And I
interesting.
No, thought I'd change.
Wow.
Friend of the family, said I'd be a good primary school teacher. Mum was driving me home from the station one day and said, oh, well, so-and-so, Mrs. Stedman, shout out to Mrs. Stedman, said you'd be a great primary school teacher. I said, well, I got nothing else to put on my form. Why don't I do that?
Wow. That is like a 20-year career as a school teacher.
Well, I did it for 8 years.
Yeah.
But, when I was just about to finish the HSC, somebody asked me what am I going to do with my life? And I knew I was going to be an architect.
Yep.
I had a job already lined up through a friend.
Yep.
And that's where I worked for a year. But for some reason I said, I think I'm going to be a minister. And
Hang on.
I said, I don't know why I said that. I'm going to be an architect. I don't know why I said that, but anyway.
Wow.
So that was the first hint.
At 19. No, 18.
Yeah, that
John.
was something going to come about.
Did you remember thinking, why did I say that?
Yeah, I said that to the person. I don't know why I said that. I'm going to be an architect.
That's outrageous, isn't it?
It was a bit weird.
Do you think that's the Holy Spirit? Do you think the fireplace was a prompting?
I
Do you think this was
the
a
Holy
prompting?
Spirit is God with us. So I'm not a big sort of split the Trinity people up.
Okay, so I'll use your language then.
God.
So do you think God prompted you at the fireplace and God prompted you
Well,
again?
that was, I had a revelation that
Wow.
Jesus was real. And I remember going on a camp once up in Katoomba, and I remember doing something completely stupid, but I was a bit like that. I climbed down on a cliff into a cave, in the Blue Mountains.
Yeah.
So, people were
Crazy,
freaked out.
yeah.
But I was doing my little quiet time, which I found really boring. But just the sun came up in the valley and I just had a sense that God was amazing.
When you say quiet time, what do you mean by that?
Oh, it's this thing that you get this book that had some questions and
Right.
to read a passage from the Bible. and you
Okay.
had,
So like devotional
do
time?
Devotional time.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought, I'm just not going to sit here and do it. I'm going to find a cool
It's
place to do
boring.
it. And
Wow.
Went down to a lookout, climbed down the cliff into this cave.
Risked your life and off you went.
Yeah, but it was quite amazing.
And then the sun, sorry, I cut you off. The sun came down and then you had another epiphany.
Well, just a sense that
there was more.
Amazing. Yeah.
You were being...
So that's it. So I went to church, and then church was depressed probably. Didn't feel like anyone left me, so I went for looking for another church.
Okay.
I had a friend who I was chasing at the time.
A girl?
Girl, yeah. And so I thought I'd go to their church. So I went to their church. Nothing ever came of that, but I did meet my wife there.
You still know that girl?
Yeah, Jula, Georgie Ledick. We're good friends. We were at Teachers College together.
Wow.
But that
led to you
was an
meeting...
amazing space because when I was there, I was a youth leader. They found I was a youth leader. And on a camp I did
Was this a uniting church?
Yeah.
So no wonder they got you and they went, good Anglican boy, off we go.
Well,
grab
they
him.
Didn't care. They just thought I was a nice person.
Oh.
And he'd led a youth group and we needed a youth leader.
Bit ghosty, but other than that, he's good.
Yeah. And then the ministry leader said, okay, I want you to preach.
Oh, wow.
And there was a bunch of us.
Wow.
About 5 of us, and he just got us preaching. Probably could have given us a bit more preparation.
I think so.
Teaching,
yeah, wow.
But got up there, put an L plate on the pulpit for my first sermon.
Wow. And that was it?
Well, no, not really. I was just leading the service because I didn't need to be.
But it set a fire in you?
No.
Nothing happened
that
day?
I enjoyed it, but no. It wasn't until I was at school.
Being a teacher. Yeah.
That the guy who mowed the lawn came up to me and said, John, sometimes I have these dreams, and if they repeat, they usually mean something.
Yep.
And we weren't close mates. We were like work friends.
Yeah.
Have a chat in the morning, but we didn't do anything social. They said, John, don't take this the wrong way, but I've had a dream about you. For what it's worth, I think you'd be a good minister. And then I was walking through church at another time, and this guy called David, he was an elder at the church. He was also coincidentally the guy who interviewed me when I was going to be a teacher, because he worked as a superintendent or class director or whatever it was called. You had to come out of Teachers College and be interviewed from the department. And he said, hi, John. I said, hi, David. He said, how's your library going? I said, good.
Yeah.
I've got science fiction.
Yeah.
Fantasy books. Yeah, Star Wars. And no, the one for when you're going to be a minister. And at that point, I went, about that.
Yeah, I just had a moment as you're telling that story. It's such a cool story. Remember Mary mistook Jesus for a gardener?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. At the Easter story narrative. Yeah. I wonder if there was a God moment in that.
Oh, definitely God moment in that.
That's absolute.
Because there's these weird coincidences.
Yeah.
At that point I started
You've had a bunch of them, haven't you?
Maybe,
and you're listening.
Maybe.
You're tuning in,
God's
right?
Tuning in. I don't know why God would choose me, because I don't really like going to church.
Because you're a bastard, aren't you?
Well, I'm a bit of a bastard. I don't really like going to church.
You're not a fan of church generally, are you?
Not
boring church.
I love church, but I think we've made it something that it's not supposed to be. I don't think it sets people's hearts on fire all the time like it should. And I don't think we end up being the people doing as much good as we should. I think we end up going to church more than we do caring about people in our community and loving our neighbour like Jesus did.
Yeah, nice.
If church was so good and preaching was so good, then shouldn't we be listening and actually learning to do it more than we just do it? And we
read and listen it.
Becomes a religious club. And then we end up with all the doctrine and dogma, and you've got to believe this and those people, and you've got to do it this way. And I think that's just a bit wanky.
The rules and regs.
Which is probably why I ended up as a school chaplain.
So can I ask you, you are a school teacher. You've done 8 years as a school teacher. You listen to the gardener.
Yeah.
You listen to the dude in the church council.
Yeah. And sorry if you've watched that episode already. We're sort of rehashing that.
Tell me, what happens next? How do you know then that's a big move. You're a young man, you've been at uni, you're working,
Yeah, I told
you're
my
married.
parents, think I'm going
to be a minister.
And they said,
What the?
are you sure?
Wow. Okay.
But
Yeah.
went through a process. You got to go through all these interviews. We talked about
Yes.
me being a bit of a dick to you in one of the processes.
Yeah.
But that same guy who was a ministry leader, his name's Chris Udy, used to ask me this question: why are you a teacher? And I'd answer, well, I'm good at it. I'm paid to do it. I like it. It's my job.
Yeah.
And he'd always say, no, you're wrong. That's the wrong answer.
What was the right answer for him?
Well, I didn't know. And he eventually left and moved on to another church. And one day I was teaching year 6 and I was just looking at these kids and sitting at the back of the classroom while they're doing their work. And I go, I teach them because they deserve.
Wow.
They deserve
to learn. Yeah.
They deserve
John,
my
that's
best.
Amazing.
And literally a green light went on my head.
Yeah.
I went, that's the answer.
Yeah, wow. Did you ring him?
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah.
But I did put in my application and I got a reference from him that said John has the gifts and graces for ministry, but he's not ready yet, which isn't quite.
Not great.
Not the reference you
No,
want
not that one.
when you're trying to apply. But I was able to say, I've got the answer. This is the story.
Yeah,
So it
how
was a good
incredible.
test to push. So, yeah, I definitely feel called to the ministry that God wants me to do this. I've got these amazing bits in my story that are beyond explanation, that I can't explain otherwise, that are real, but I can't prove them. But at the same time, I think God put me here to be a bit different, to go, sometimes we're not doing it right.
You question the status quo, which is really good.
That's my 3 things when I worked out why I should be called. Why be normal is my first one. It was actually a pink sticker that my friends gave me when I was about 16.
Why be normal?
Why be normal with fluoro bit.
Love that.
But it's having a reason. If there's a good reason to do what we're doing, then that's okay. But if there's no reason and it's just habit or empty ritual,
why bother?
Yeah.
Do you know, I describe you as like, we're called to be salt and salt.
Yeah.
You are like chili flakes. You're like chili flakes, man, And
thank you.
You go off and you just, you are.
I will always push the boundaries.
Always. You're a blessing. You're a shit
big
stirrer.
spoon from my dad.
Have you really?
It sits on my thing. He had it in his workshop, but now I've got it. It says world's biggest stirrer. So I like stirring.
You
things.
wind people up.
Provoke. Well, no, just provoke thought.
You do.
I'm not putting up.
Yeah.
As my daughter says, she sums up the Bible. Don't be a dickhead.
That's right.
But I said, just be nice.
Yeah, that's right.
That's my thing. But
yeah. Great story.
Yeah.
From bastard to minister.
Yeah.
It's an extraordinary story. I'm so glad your mum and dad.
And I think, in the midst of, there's been crap in my life.
Yeah.
But the consistent thing is that God has been present and that has been a source of sense of meaning and purpose, which is another word for hope.
Yep.
That, it's filthy hope. It's faith without a filter that I don't have to pretend.
Nope. And you don't.
No.
You're the
and that's why we're together.
Least bullshitter that I've ever met. You just call it out every time. I'm just so grateful that your mum and dad your mother who birthed you, your birth DNA mum, biological mum, I'm so glad she had you and then gave you up because you landed in the perfect family, really. You landed in this family that led you on a path that pointed you to Jesus.
Yeah,
that's hope.
That's good.
Absolutely. That is filth and hope.
I spin it differently, that there was a shitty circumstance and God brings good out of it.
100%.
That this shouldn't have happened. My birth mother shouldn't have been shamed. She should have been able to do what she wanted and not forced to make a choice if that's what she was made to do.
Yep.
It's great that I was brought up in wonderful families, but You know, I could have been brought up anywhere.
Yeah.
So I don't. Yeah, I think that sets me free.
You landed.
I landed, but I landed outside the circle. That's why I go, you know, I'm not. There wasn't anyone I had to be. I could have been anyone. I could have been, you know, my dad could have been a king. It could have been a prince, whoever that was. But God brings good even out of
Filthy
stuff.
situations, 100%. And that's exactly what this story is. It's there's filthy bits, there's gritty bits, there's grace, and there's so much hope in your story. Thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Thanks, Ness.
Thanks for being so vulnerable and being so honest and so no filter, which is
Awesome.
the piece is amazing. Hey, if you've enjoyed this story and want to hear more conversations like this, faith with no filter, really radically honest conversations about people and their lives and the tricky things that happen in the grey spaces of life, please just tune in, maybe subscribe, and so that you can land these into your feeds wherever you
don't do it just because it's wanky.
No,
but,
just
it does.
if you like
know,
it.
Unfortunately, that's the way the YouTube world works. But tell your friends, or
Absolutely.
just tell us. We'd love to hear your story.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, Reverend Sister.
See you next time.
They are.
Thanks for listening to Filthy Hope today. If you're not already a subscriber, could you maybe subscribe? It's going to really help other listeners find us.